Part 1 Relationship Green Flags. The purpose of this video is to highlight the green flags that are found in a budding or existing relationship that is healthy. Many times content creators, life coaches and those meaning well focus on negative signs to look for. What you look for you will find. If you look for red flags only and negativity, you will always find it. The same goes for the opposite. If you look for positivity and the good, you will undoubtedly find it. When the good outweighs the bad, this is a good thing. As a rule of thumb, Dr. John Gottman says that in a successful relationship there will be 5 positive interactions to every 1 negative instance. If you are not familiar with his research, please check out the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. The green flags listed below are based on personal experience, research, and observation. Green flag number 1, that you are in a good relationship, or on your way to one, is you and your partner will have established clear communication of wants, needs, expectations. Deal breakers. Addressing possible red flags or areas of concern will be a norm, and do not escalate into fallout or irreconcilable arguments. Areas of flexibility will also be addressed on an individual level and, or as a couple, based on common goals, interests and relationship status. Green flag number 2 will be the presence and application of flexibility in actions and attitudes. There will be an ability to be flexible without compromising personal standards. Someone who cares for you will not push you to compromise your standards. Keep in mind that there is a difference between standards and preferences. It is better, even healthy, to be flexible in preferences but not standards. Equal effort and willingness to be flexible in preferences when necessarily. A third green flag that will be present in a good relationship is there will be evidence of healing. A majority of healing will need to have taken place before the beginning of the relationship. Evidence of healing is that neither partner is projecting or carrying past baggage into a new relationship. Every person has their own set of experiences that can either contribute to or take from their current relationship. When healing has taken place, the contribution to the relationship will be positive and add to the current relationship, not take away from it. Healing takes place in a relationship based on obstacles you reach and overcome as a couple. Also, many times in a good relationship, self-reflection will occur, and opportunities to explore areas where healing is needed will occur on a weekly or even daily basis, based on how much quality time is spent together with your mate. Recognizing areas where healing is needed and embarking on that journey of healing can be done individually and/or together. Some good relationships do not last, and healing will be needed following the conclusion of the relationship still. A fourth relationship green flag is that each partner is not overly obsessed with an outcome more than they are concerned with the current state or climate of the relationship and the green flags listed above. You are not outcome dependent. Instead, the efforts of both parties are not based on fear, scarcity, or distrust of themselves or your partner. Timelines are discussed in a healthy manner without ultimatums, but not obsessed over. Regular check-ins occur between you and your partner. Addressing communication is a norm. Discussing effort is a norm, so that both partners' needs are being met, with time allowed for corrections, adjustment and improvements to be implemented. Patience is key. Quality time occurs with the full presence of both parties. Intimacy occurs in all areas of interaction. Emotional/spiritual/physical well-being are taken into consideration and prioritized over the outcome that cannot be predicted unless you are a deity. This is where healing is so important. So many times an outcome is predicted as a scapegoat to being real, being present and doing the work needed to build, maintain, and keep a good relationship. A fifth relationship green flag is there is a clear understanding of the differences between each mate's wants versus needs. There are no debilitating emergencies dictating progress. Neither person is a homosexual or needing immediate financial, housing support, etc. Emergencies like this can cloud a person's judgment. There will be a mutual want for a relationship and need for companionship. Both people want to be with the other, choosing each other daily, and are committed to meeting their own needs and or their partner's needs while exercising flexibility, patience, and understanding. The sixth relationship green flag is the obvious and solid presence of respect. This respect will be apparent in communication and interaction and the display of empathy, and each partner being supportive without enabling the other in an unhealthy manner. Respect also shows up as personal accountability, respect of each other's boundaries and privacy. For example, if your partner does not like for you to barge into their home office while they are working, then you don't do that out of respect for their wants and needs. A seventh relationship green flag is happiness, happiness, happiness. You both were happy or at least content prior to starting your relationship. Necessary internal work and attitude climate are addressed. Before entering your relationship, you may find that you are happier during the relationship and even after relationship. If it ends, fear has the tendency to smother happiness. In a good relationship, fear does not smother happiness. Fear and happiness, just like fear and love, cannot exist in the same place. They are like oil and water. A huge relationship green flag is number 8. The ability to be present. This is key. This is also tied to not being too outcome dependent. An example of being present is, say you and your partner are spending quality time and a thought enters your mind that takes you out of the moment and into the past or too far into the future, or even in a place that has nothing to do with what you are presently experiencing with your partner. Make it a habit to quiet those moment killers. A great book to assist with navigating your way to understanding your inner voice better and keeping it in check is The Untethered Soul. Phenomenal read for those who struggle to differentiate between their mind, heart, inner voice, etc. Couples who are present are not overly concerned with past relationships or exes. A way to ensure that you can be present with your mate is taking care to sever old soul ties before a new relationship starts. This means not entertaining other past/potential romantic outside relationships in a way that takes energy, focus, or time from your current relationship. The being present green flag shows up as contentment and appreciation with the person sitting in front of you. There is no pining away for lost or unrequited love. When you are present, you can lose track of time together. You can enjoy each moment as it is with no pretense or agenda. Again, this includes not overly obsessed about the future beyond reason. In a good relationship, decisions are made based on the present relationship, with no outside distractions, and without comparing past partners. This takes deliberate and concentrated effort. Being present with your mate includes the ability to see, address, and overcome obstacles in real time, or within a reasonable timeline. Green flag number 9 is the glue that keeps a relationship together. It is grit. Grit is the willpower and intestinal fortitude that allows individuals to be able to recognize in an open, truthful fashion what can be worked on and what cannot. The worth of individuals and relationships is evident and actions dictate it. Grit enhances a couple's ability to make important decisions based on current factors. This also ties to the ability to be present. It takes grit to make it to a place where two individuals with two lives, before meeting each other with two separate personalities, are able to come together and simply be present. It is a gift. The biggest present you can give your relationship, or in some cases, your budding relationship, is presence. A 10th good relationship green flag is the presence of internal point and external appreciation. Appreciation is shown through effort. Appreciation is verbalized and shown that through actions of each partner there is appreciation of the individual, and no desire to change them. You don't want them to make more money, you don't want them to be taller or skinnier. You accept the person as they are, especially things that cannot change like skin color, hair texture, zodiac sign, or whatever. This is an issue that trips up a lot of individuals and keeps them from a long-lasting good relationship. They are so rigid on preferences, but compromise on standards. It is okay to want the best for yourself and your partner, and in a good relationship both parties can accept each other exactly as they are based on the life they lived before, and the life they have now with you. And it is painful when someone wants to change you, and it undermines trust, and can lead to resentment. This is a fox that spoils the vine. What that looks like is someone looking at their partner whom they chose, and saying, because you do not wear your natural hair 24/7 something is wrong with you, and you are not good enough for me, after already starting a relationship with them. In a good relationship, acceptance and care can fuel inspiration and evolution. Inspiration and evolution do not need to be forced or obsessed over. Acceptance is evidence of trust. Trust of an individual and their partner's ability to grow and evolve, while still loving/caring for each other. It's okay to appreciate the little things and the big things. An important ingredient in a relationship's foundation is self-care. This is the 11th green flag of the good relationship. Both parties' personal standards are intact. Preferences are internally acknowledged and resolved before entering into a relationship. Remember, there is a difference between standards and preferences, and flexibility in preferences are not always deal breakers. Couples who give to each other ultimately give to each themselves. This is an unending interwoven cycle that lasts the entirety of a relationship. Giving to give, not just to receive, will be present in a good relationship. Self-care dictates a person's ability to love another. If a person does not have the discipline or willingness to engage in self-care, their ability to care for a partner will be undermined, no matter how good their intentions are. This included mental, energetic, emotional, and physical self-care. Other extensions of self-care are hobbies that are not neglected. If one partner likes to golf, and the other likes to hike, there is no infringement of the other's hobbies that prevents the other from seeking enjoyment. It is not necessary to have all of the same hobbies, but it can be a plus. Getting to know your partner will allow you to know the range of what they can enjoy with you. This takes time. Self-care means individual health is not neglected. This is a non-negotiable. Regular doctor's visits. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Being proactive concerning health concerns will greatly improve the couple's quality of life together for years to come. This is an optional, but ideal in a good relationship. Again, in a good relationship, the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being is not neglected. If you are not a spiritual person, then take what works from this and use what works. Part 2 will be uploaded in 24 hours. The link will be below in the description box. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks.